Hello everyone and welcome to Doom Bible. If you enjoy the Doom lore and eager to uncover the mysteries of the Doom universe, you're in the right place. I hope you enjoyed the video. My AI voice will take it from here. Thanks for watching.
In the previous chapter, we explored the final battle between Davoth and the Father, and how the universe watched as their ultimate fate was judged by the outcome of this titanic conflict. Fortunately for all creation, the Father's will to sacrifice himself proved stronger than his creator. He succeeded in containing Davoth's life force within a sphere, ripping it from his chest. With this outcome, the Father could finally withdraw from the physical world, preventing Davoth's minions from exploiting his vulnerabilities and stealing his immense power. But questions linger. Can the Maykrs survive and continue ruling the universe without the Father? How will they avoid the transfiguration? Is it truly enough for the Father to withdraw from the physical world to prevent Davoth's minions from harnessing his power? Will Hell's forces surrender after their leader is sealed, or will they seek vengeance against Urdak, finding a new successor as the Dark Lord? In this chapter, we delve into the Father's final moments before his withdrawal and the far-reaching implications of his decisions. Chapter 4. Even after Davoth's defeat and removal from the physical world, it was unsurprising that he continued to whisper to his minions, influencing his followers across the universe to spread darkness and consume all existence. The Father was well aware of this possibility. That is why, from the beginning, he resolved to leave the physical world entirely, ensuring that no one could steal or absorb his power. However, this solution came at a steep cost. With the Father reduced to a life sphere, the process of transfiguration would no longer be reversible. To ensure the survival of the Maykrs, the Father devised a meticulous plan and commanded his followers to implement it. First, place his life sphere in the Holy Luminarium. Second, transfer leadership to a high-ranking Maykr, who would be known as the Khan Maykr. Third, to avoid corruption by transfiguration, the Maykrs' collective consciousness would birth a new Khan every 10,000 years. Though transfiguration could take much longer to fully consume a Maykr, the shorter cycle was intended as a safeguard. Fourth, any Maykr seeking guidance or knowledge could consult the Father's consciousness within the life sphere in the Luminarium. Finally, the Seraphs were to remain chancellors and advisors to the Khan, but not assume leadership roles. This plan aimed to secure the Maykrs' survival, while the life sphere of the Father remained under their protection. The plan was implemented, and the Father withdrew from the physical world. His life sphere was placed in the Luminarium, and the first Khan Maykr ruled Urdak. For thousands, or perhaps millions of years, Urdak thrived under the Father's guidance and the Maykrs' vigilance. However, as expected, Hell did not remain silent. Their vengeance against the Maykrs continued unabated. While Urdak maintained its upper hand, securing victories in countless battles, the relentless onslaught from Hell revealed cracks in their defenses. After centuries of warfare, Hell came dangerously close to upending the balance in one shocking moment. In one of the toughest battles, known as the Siege of Khazad-dûr, Hell managed to kill the Khan Maykr. However, the Maykrs, adhering to their sacred rites, retrieved his life sphere from the battlefield and returned it to the Luminarium. There, he was resurrected and led his forces to victory once more. But this close call was a grim reminder. Hell was growing stronger, and it was only a matter of time before they reached the Father's life sphere. Should that happen, all past achievements would be rendered meaningless, and the universe itself could be at risk. The Father had foreseen this possibility. Before withdrawing from the physical world, he devised a secret contingency plan known only to Samur Maykr, his most loyal servant. Even the Khan Maykr was kept in the dark. This plan, though fraught with sacrifices and challenges, aimed to ensure the Father's power could never be exploited by Hell. As Hell's forces encroached ever closer, Samur decided the time had come to enact the plan before catastrophe struck. The Father's final instructions to Samur were as follows. First, remove the Father's life sphere from the luminarium in secrecy. Second, separate the Father's consciousness from the life sphere. Third, secure the life sphere in the Ingmor sanctum, where Davoth's life sphere currently resides, the safest and most protected place in the universe. Fourth, retain the Father's consciousness with Samur, allowing him to guide humanity when they were eventually born on Earth. This secret plan was not without huge consequences. The Father knew the Maykrs wouldn't accept this plan if they knew about it. If it was implemented, the Maykrs would pay a huge price, starting with Samur, who would be targeted as a heretic. The Maykrs would also have to endure the transfiguration without being able to birth a new Khan. This would put the Maykrs in the worst situation ever. They would have to somehow continue and find a way to extend their lives. The Father had wished for this day to never come, but unfortunately, the worst had happened. For the Father, however, the alternative, Davoth's minions absorbing his power, was far worse. In the age of Nutsia, before Hell managed to end the universe by stealing the Father's essence, Samur shattered the Khazardine veil, took the Father's life sphere as he was bidden to do, and placed it in the Ingmor sanctum, where no being could retrieve it. The Father's consciousness remained with Samur until one day humans were born on Earth, the people who, in the future, would be born by the Father's will. As he prophesied, one day they would discover Argent energy by themselves, but would also fall victim to Hell's invasion. Wanting to help his creations in that dark time, the Father instructed Samur to keep him close to them so he could guide them as much as possible. With Urdak no longer holding the Father's essence in the form of a life sphere, the Maykrs seemed unaware of the identity of the one who took it, or perhaps they weren't sure if it was Samur. With the Father's sphere gone from Urdak, the Maykrs changed forever. The consequences of the Father's plan were now irreversible. The process of birthing a new Khan Maykr had stopped. But not only that, the current Khan Maykr had been disconnected from the collective memory of the past Maykrs. She no longer knew about the origins of the universe, nor did she know about Hell itself. She knew only that the Father's essence had been stolen, and that she had to survive the transfiguration in one way or another, a desperate situation she had never hoped for. Although the transfiguration may take eons to consume the Khan and all the Maykrs, the only small hope left for them, without the Father's essence, was to find a source of energy that could delay or stop their transfiguration. She had to act before all of Urdak perished. Eventually, this very event would lead Urdak to the path of destruction. The Father and the Maykrs had already lost the battle at this point. The Khan knew only that the Father's essence had been stolen, and that transfiguration threatened her and her people. Desperation drove her to search for an alternative energy source to delay or halt their decline. This event marked the beginning of Urdak's slow descent into chaos. The Father's ultimate gamble, though made to protect the universe, had left the Maykrs to face an uncertain future. In the next chapter, we will explore how the Maykrs' quest for salvation leads them to Argent Dunur, a planet that contains the oldest entity that brought life into existence. Let's uncover this together soon in The Way to Argent Dunur.